If you are addicted to investing into courses, programs, and mentorships, this video is for you. Because this is something that I've struggled with for a very, very long time, since 2019, right? I would see a program that I believed would completely solve my money problems, like information that I lacked, and I would invest in it. And it would just make me broker than I started, right? There are a few exceptions, of course, but it really is a trap. And that trap is seeing another course, seeing another mentorship, and seeing another program, thinking that right there, that is what is going to solve my problem, right? There are very, very few courses and stuff like that actually solves your money problems, right? Because typically it's a you problem. It's not a course. It's not a mentorship, right? Because I don't know, I feel like in this day and age, it's so easy to get sucked into that, especially with, the marketers that are around now and the sales scripts. Like, they really get you to, like, they dig into that pain, they get a knife, they drive it in so that it can feel so much pain that it gets you to buy. And it seems so shiny, it seems so perfect, it seems like the solution to get you out of your situation. But the harsh truth is, and trust me, I've invested like over $30,000 worth of courses at this point. It's never that one course that's going to solve that problem, especially because you don't have the right foundation. And that foundation is discipline, it's focus, it's clarity, right? And it's not getting shiny object syndrome, which is what all these mentorships, programs, and courses do. And trust me, I've struggled with this my entire life, right? Or, well, since courses became a thing. So 2018-ish, right? But today, I managed to conquer that desire. And let me tell you, it was one of the toughest endeavors I've ever had to do. Specifically because it was Alex Hormozy's $100 million Money Models book launch. And if you were there, you know what I'm talking about, right? Like the Black Book launch, like all these different things, AI, virtual workshop, stuff like that. It's like, it was $6,000 total, and I could make the down payment and probably the other payments preceding that, but my life would be living hell, right? And it's like, everyone was hopping onto it. Like, Alex Hormozy has never released such a thing to the public before. And it was a course. I was like, shit. Like, I know that feeling. I've lived it way too many times, too many times. And I'm just happy I learned my lesson. Because there's a saying that goes along the lines of, the person who repeats the same action thinking that they will achieve a different outcome is delusional, right? They are crazy. Because, if you're the type of person like me that has invested in so many courses, so many programs, so many mentorships, and you haven't seen anything out of it, or at least you haven't achieved the financial freedom that you wanted, right, with each course, then that's typically on you, right? Of course, there are some scams out there and whatnot, but like most of the time, at least like the people that I've invested into, like if I actually put in the work, if I actually did the course like to a T, I would become financially successful. So just me investing, that's how I kind of, in a very warped way, that's how I perceive like courses and mentorships and whatnot. My thought process was, if I invested into it, I would gain this knowledge, because that's what's lacking between me and where I want to be, knowledge, right? But sometimes, especially when you haven't broken that 100K barrier, it's not the knowledge that you're lacking, because there's so much of it online now. YouTube, ChatGPT, like all these free courses, even like all this stuff, it's all available online. But what the real bottleneck is, at least for me, my ability to stay disciplined, stay focused, and do the boring work consistently, day in, day out, and focus on nothing else. Like that's always been my struggle. And so when I see something that's like, shit, that's gonna fix all my problems, it's usually just a farce. It's usually just fake. And it's me trying to divert my attention away from what I have to focus and should focus on right now, right? because that's what I know how to get there. It's just a matter of doing it, right? And so I'm telling you, like, this Alex Hormozi thing was the close. I'm just very happy that I got through. So how did I do it, right? I was super close to buying it. So how did I manage to overcome that desire to put down that $1,000, or to not put down that $1,000, add $2,000 interest to the already pretty expensive program, total of $6,000, right? So $8,000. How did I manage to overcome it? Well, one, I went through all my finances. I checked to see how much I actually had available. I thought logically. I kind of took myself out of the moment. I was like, okay, let's see. Let's think, like, if this happens, then this happens, then this happens. Basically, I would be pretty cooked. And there's always the idea of like, oh, then you can make shit happen. You know, it'll put you against the wall. That's something that I told myself all the time too. Like, pressure makes diamonds, right? I want to become a fucking diamond. So why would I not put myself under pressure? But at the same time, if I need to put myself into that much forced pressure, do I really deserve to be an entrepreneur? Because business is already hard enough as it is. So why would I want to add more unnecessary pressure to what I already have on my plate, right? It actually makes sense. Now I'm really saying it out loud and thinking about it, it doesn't make any sense. I would always say pressure makes diamonds, and that's why I add tactical stress onto myself. But business is already tactically stressful enough. Like, I don't need more shit on my plate, right? So that's the first thing. Like, take yourself out of the situation, view yourself in third person, and think about, if I do this, if I invest this much money and do these payments, what are the downsides? Like, think worst case scenario, right? Always plan for worst case scenarios. If you can't, then boop-de-doop, right? Don't do it. Take risks, yes, but take calculated risks, right? Take risks where you know the return is going to. And with what Alex Hormozi had to offer, I was like, like, I already have what I need with the current mentorships and programs I'm already invested in, right? And it'd be irresponsible of me to, like, invest into Alex Hormozi's thing, even if it was like once in a lifetime type of thing, right? The next thing that you can do, and I highly recommend you do, is sit on it. Sit on it. Like, literally just close the thing. Like, if it's the sales call, tell them, sorry, I don't make decisions on my first call ever. I'll talk to you later, all right? And then sit on it for at least 48 hours. And if by the 48 hours, after you've done step one, you've thought it through, worked out your finances, worked out, second order consequences, seeing what happens if you do this, that, then if you still want to proceed, then I would say, honestly, go for it if you know it's a good thing. And only go for it if all the other programs you currently have, you've exhausted every single option. Like, you've done every single step, all the work, and you're the best student on that program. Then and only then should you be investing into another one, because that's when you maxed out that program, right? But if you haven't, don't invest into another one. And I'm not gonna lie, this is more so a reminder to myself, because that shit was tough. And you're gonna see, I'm actually gonna include 2 clips. Like, right after this segment ends, you'll see in real time how I felt. it's pretty embarrassing how I felt during the book launch, and the moment when I realized, like, it's okay, I don't need this, I'm at peace, I'm okay. That's gonna be exciting. But I was very proud of that. And one thing I will say is that we fucking crushed it today. The first 8 hours was absolutely useless, because I had the Alex Hormozi book launch, which was like 90% of it was selling, pretty much, right? So I could have hopped off. But I redeemed myself by going to a cafe after and just doing a shit ton of work. As in, I got my VSL in, my script in, I sent it to my mentor, and I got a bunch of other work done. So that was a big win. And so biggest takeaway for that is that do the fucking work. Do the boring work. I did not want to do the VSL. Guys, editing the script is fun. It's so boring, right? But once you actually get through it, once you actually do the work, the boring work, and you complete it, you check it off, it's like, damn, I did that. That feels good, right? And it's momentum for the next day. It's momentum for the next thing because I ended up editing content. And so for me specifically, one thing that I realized about myself is that it's very important to be in a very good environment, which means for me specifically, not at home, not around my family, not around my friends, but just in an isolated spot, whether it be a library, a cafe. That's when I can really lock in, right? And the second thing is that when you actually do the boring work and you get it done, it is so satisfying. Like, it is worth it, right? That's what makes it worth it. And that's what I mean. Like, there's so much work to be done, and no mentorship, no course is going to allow me to do that for me. I still have to put in the work no matter what. So if I can't even put in the work now with the stuff that I have now, what makes me think that I'm going to put in the work for another course later down the line, right? So master what you have now so that it can benefit you in the future. But so much to think about. I'm fixing my funnel. So once Jack green lights it or gives me feedback, then I'm going to go ahead and record it. Of course, record it. Probably facing like the opposite way of this room because it's cleaner. And then edit that, and then I'm gonna full send my niche immersion, right? Which is something that Charlie Morgan talks about in his course. It's like a little bonus kind of thing, niche immersion, and then I'm gonna go on to my content. So kind of my flow right now, just because I want to document this in real time. I'm a fitness coach, right? And so my flow right now is LinkedIn outbound. So I send out connection requests, which I need to do after this video. I send out connection requests. Whoever accepts, I send a selfie video, personalized to their name. It's authentic, it's real, it has my energy, it has my smile. And then once they give me a thumbs up, saying they want to proceed, I send them a VSL. If they send me a thumbs up again, I send them a Calendly link. Once they book, I put them in a sales call, right? But my bottleneck has been my VSL, so I need to figure out what's going on with that. So that's why I'm editing it now, if that makes sense. Scientific method, change one thing at a time. The next thing I want to talk about is, so once I get that done, then I kind of need to go, I need to zoom out to my business, right? And that really means thinking about who I want to serve, right? So entrepreneurs. And that means really immersing myself into that niche, the problems that they face with their health, what their lifestyle is like. And then that way I can create a brand that solves their problems, right? And as an entrepreneur myself, I've dealt with a lot of their problems, you know, stress eating, not getting enough sleep, relying on energy drinks, just being super busy, tight schedule. Sometimes you gotta eat out because you have no choice. So like stuff like that, right? Going to Trader Joe's, getting food snacks here and there, stuff like that. Like I understand the niche pretty well, but I want to know them on a very deep, emotional, personal level, and so that way I can help better serve them, right? So that's what niche immersion is all about. Once I nail down my niche, then I can zoom out even more, or then I can kind of zoom in, and then go on content. The content is the future by 1,000,000%, right? And I need to show up as myself, like be authentic, be as energetic as I can, with the genuine desire to give first. And if people are a fit for my, you know, my coaching, my program, right, then they can join me. I'm toying around with the idea of the entrepreneur longevity partner. Something that's a very interesting concept. But I'm gonna play around with that. We'll see how it goes. I'm just gonna do, yeah, we'll see. It depends on just researching the niche first. But that's kind of my game plan. Right? There's so many things I'm learning along the way, and the whole point of this channel, the only sole purpose of this channel is to document what I'm learning, share it with you, so you can learn from my successes, but most importantly, my mistakes, so you can just stay clear of it, right? Which includes buying courses that you don't need to buy, by the way, right? And that's literally it. Like, I'm never, this bold claim, I'm never, ever going to, I shouldn't put never. I'm never going to make content on this page to get people to buy what I have, because my moneymaker is going to be fitness, not this. This is like just my genuine desire to help people who have been in my position or who are where I'm at, right? Because I think it's fun. I really want to inspire people and educate. So once we get past a certain money amount, then these plogs which become more exciting. Like we'll be on jets and stuff. We'll be on first class. You will see me be traveling up more. Be a lot more cinematic. But that'll be later on. But I'm super excited for it. Hope you have a beautiful day or night, whatever time you're watching this. I will insert the 2 clips of me having. You'll see the the few stages of grief in the next few clips. But that's pretty much it for today. This is PLOG V1.39. PLOG out. Be better daily. Peace. What is up, guys? It is currently August 16th, 11:11 just passed a.m. And I'm watching Alex Hormozy's book launch, $100 million money models. And he has this thing where if you pay about $6,000, right, you can, man, I like that. But you can get all of this right here. I don't know if it's kind of hard to see, but this is what you get, right? This is what you get. Okay? I don't know if it's mirrored. It might be mirrored. But the thing is, right? I can't afford it. Like, I physically can't afford it. And it really genuinely pains me to say that, because this is something that I would buy in a heartbeat if I had the money. But I physically do not have the money. Like, I genuinely physically do not have the money. Like, dude, you get all of this. You get, oh, it is mirrored. It is mirrored. Hold on. You get 12 playbooks that he has. You get live implementation workshop, lifetime access to an AI. And yeah, I think the biggest thing is like the 12 playbooks, right? That you can see here. That's what the payments look like. I don't have $1,000 due today. I physically do not, right? And that's what sucks when I don't have money. And you know, the thing I realized is this pain, I need to live in it. Like the pain of not being able to buy the courses, the knowledge that I want to have, it pains me, right? It pains me. But I guess the question is, why do I have the desire to gain knowledge? I think it's one, I love learning, but it's also two, because I believe that knowledge is what is making me lack the success that I have. But it's not knowledge. Now that I'm thinking about it, I have all the knowledge I need. It's about taking action, staying committed, right? Doing what needs to be done. Like, that's what really matters in the end. So I don't want to ever be in this position ever fucking again, where I can't afford something that I really, really want. Never again is that going to happen. So August 16th, 11:16 a.m., Saturday. We're gonna make it fucking happen, bro. We have to. Like, there's no other way. There's no other way. Because I never want this feeling of not being able to purchase something because I don't have the funds to do that. I don't want that to ever be a problem ever again. And it hurts. It's painful, bro. It's literally painful. Like yesterday, I spent $500 on 20 books. And that was to get the sales framework and the ads framework, something like that, right? But like, I can't afford this. $1,000 due today, purchase amount $6,000, total interest $2,000, total payments $8,000. I can't afford that today, right? Or just $6,000. I can't afford that today, and that sucks. And I want to document this moment because I want to remember this pain. And it's time to get to work. So that's pretty much it. I'm gonna head out, do some work. This book launch event is crazy though, because the biggest thing for me is school. School lifetime rate $9. Fucking crazy, bro. So when you get to work, we're gonna take advantage of that, and yeah, let's do it. You know, for some reason, I was actually really close to buying it. $1,000 due today, $6,000 amount, total interest $295 every 24 months, or for 24 months. I was actually really close to buying that. Like, really, because I could buy it now. I had to move some finances around. But for some reason, as I was sitting there listening to Alex Hormozy and Layla Hormozy, just a wave of calmness struck. And just a wave of like, I don't really need this right now. Like, I know what I need to focus on. And that focus is making great content. It's reaching out to as many people as I can. It's reaching out to, like, I shouldn't have this be the urgency that I need. Because even if I have all this information, if I don't act on it, if I don't have a strong foundation to making it happen, then it's never going to happen. It literally never is. And I can show you guys my finances like real quick. But it just would not be wise of me to make this investment right now. And I don't know why, for whatever reason, just a wave of relief, a wave of like, you know what? I'm okay. Like I'm genuinely okay. Like I know what I need to do. I need to stay laser focused. And I need to lock in. But for a moment, I was actually like this close putting in my card information, my bank account to make this happen. But like I don't need this. Like the playbook stuff, right? Pricing, fast cash, lifetime value, lead nurture. None of that stuff is gonna make me money right now. Right? And I would need money right now if I were to make an investment in that. And and when I look at me, when I do an audit of myself, money isn't, or sorry, it's not the information or the strategy that is the issue. It is me. And adding more information to my already information-filled brain, like that's just stupid. I think there's a quote that goes like, the something about like stupid people are those who do the same thing thinking that they'll have a different outcome. And I've seen this pattern for myself many times before. And it would genuinely be so stupid of me to invest in this. By the way, it's 1:37 p.m. I've been sitting here for quite some time. This guy's a great salesperson. But it's like, this stuff right here isn't going to get me to where I am or where I want to be. It's not. What is going to get me to where I need to be is putting in the work, is to really, really think about like how I want to frame my brand, and just putting in the work again. Emphasis on the work. It's not the new information. It's not the small, tiny tactic. It's not this brand new course, right? That's going to change my life. But it's me that's going to change my life. I think the best word to put it is I feel at peace. Like, I don't know. I was just staring at it. I listened to Layla talk.
The reason we weren't trying to cuss is because we didn't want to change Dream is like 18 plus. That's why.
Yeah. So, it's still going. But it's like, I feel at peace. I'm okay with where I'm at. I'm okay with what I have. And now it's just time to put in the work. Because having that information is not going to change how I work. It's silly to think so. So, with that being said, time to get to work.